I was honoured to be asked by the Kelty Community Council to be part of a team to put together an exhibition on mining in Kelty. And they felt it was important this year because this is the 60th anniversary of the Lindsay disaster, and also it's about 50 years since the pit closed down. So we wanted to do a landmark exhibition. Unfortunately, most of us that were on the team formed by the Community Council, none of us were miners. So we had to call on the expertise of the Kelty retired miners and also the community, who were absolutely superb in the support that they gave us. We also had 3 great researchers who came in to help us, because the areas we were looking at was coal as an employer, but also how it affected the social life and how it built the community of Kelty and made it what it is. We looked at things like schools, we looked at what they did and how they played, what they did after work, and the amount of material that came forward from the community was superb. And we were able to put on a very good exhibition, which I think covered the whole gambit from the 18th century right through to when the pits closed down. Not being a miner, the learning curve for me was absolutely immense. Not to 60 mile an hour in about a week. We could never have done it without the support of the retired miners. It was a community event for the community, and the community supported us all the way.
I was born in Cardington, and as a bairn went down there to the Heather Hill and the Dookie Dam, and I'd spend the livelong day with my mind far away, Godlin for minnins in the barn. Then I moved through to West Fife. It was a big change in my life when a many that came my way, and that bonny old grey tune would find me hanging round, playing fedball with my pals in the glen. Aye, but when I'm old and grey, atween the Forth and Tay, aye, you'll find me in Kingdom O'Fine. Started working down the pit, that was life, that was it. Thought I'd be there for the rest of my days. Aye, but Thatcher came around, nae mair on the door. So I went up to the station by the hall. There was open and tenalt, but there was nae who smelt that the family wanted to come and stay, and the other half would not go. She found other fields to sow. So I left for that other kingdom in the sun. Aye, but when I'm old and grey, atween the Forth and Tay, aye, you'll find me in the Kingdom O'Fine. Well, I landed in Yanbo on the Red Sea shore, started drinking during Ramadan. Well, I ended up in the jail. I was there for quite a while. if I flew back to the kingdom that's my home. Aye, but when I'm old and gay, between the Forth and Tay, aye, you'll find me in the kingdom of fine. Aye, but now we're old and grey, it's here we've come to stay, in the beautiful kingdom of fine. We're doing the pit for 18 years. Set my time and learned all about switch gear. Crawled up the faces to the main and tailgate. Little known that Ridley had already banned the fee. Ye can walk up the main street or down by the glen, up to Kelty and look out her stealing. Then up past ye drum and a wee bit higher still, and you'll see her tae Wallace face down. Came out on strike in March '83 to fight against a woman who destroyed society. Fought long and hard, a government Kelty stood with the pickets for a year and a day. Ye can walk up the main street or down by the glen, up to Kelty and look out her stealing. Then up past ye drum and a wee bit higher still, and you'll see her tae Wallace face down. Clare Hall and Bandrum, Bogside and the Jenny Grey, Bow Hill the Mary, Seafield the Lindsay, and New Cymru Colliery is no longer there, and Old King Cole does not stay in Fife nae mair.
I was brought up just up the road in Kelty Hill Road. We stayed in a two-roomed property. We had a sitting room and a bedroom and a kitchen, an outside toilet which we shared with my gran. My dad's mother, she had the other property on the site. She had a three-roomed house, a sitting room and two bedrooms, and it was in a contained sort of site. Great for playing in because you were well off the road and big garden to play in. We had, as I say, an outside toilet. The bath was a wooden tub in the wash house that you got maybe when the washing was getting done on a Monday. So that was the kind of house that I stayed in up till I was started to work when we moved into a council house in 1960.
In Blauwekruis, the council 3-bedroom house. They actually a lot more in the kitchen because the kitchen was bigger than the sitting room. The sitting room was used for special occasions. We had the 3-piece suite and the TV and everything in the kitchen. We actually lived in the kitchen. Very happy household.
At that particular time, my mum and dad lived in the Rose in Lunfinnans. It was just a house with just one room. I think my mum and dad slept in the sitting room. I was just an infant when we moved from there to Fulford Road in Cowdenbeath, which was part of Kirtford. And our house looked out in the graveyard. And that's where I spent my childhood, in Kirtford.
I worked in the Jenny Gray, Glencraig, Solsgirth, Bogside, Castle Hill, Bedley, Bolson Glen. That'll do for now.
I only ever applied for one job and I got it. I applied to get an apprenticeship with NCB. So I got an apprenticeship at Cowdenbeath Workshops as an engineer. And I spent a year in the workshops where you were 2 days in the workshops, 2 days at the technical college on practical and 1 day release. When you were in the workshops, you got to try different places. I was in maybe 8 different departments, from the drawing office, the blacksmiths, the fitting shop, electrical, and different departments, the joiner shop. So you got a wee taste for all these kind of jobs that, well, when you do work in the pits, you had to turn your hand to a lot of things, not just engineering. And when you were at the pit, you got other jobs to do.
You could say I was a late starter when I started in the pit because I was 29-year-old when I started. And when I first went down the pit, I thought, I'll never make this. Because I did my training at Comrie, my underground training at Comrie, and the face lines were only, some of them were only 2.5, 3 feet high. And I'm 6'2", so you can imagine what it was like, and I thought, I'll never hack this.
I left the school in the summer of 1959. And I left on the Friday and started working at Comrie Colliery on the Monday morning. I worked in Comrie Colliery. When I started in Comrie Pit, I was surface worker. I worked in the aerial at Comrie Colliery and also worked in the washery at Comrie Colliery. Worked up there for quite a while and I went underground. I was a locomotive driver underground at Comrie Colliery. When I went to Bohol Pit, underground there, I was an on-cost worker which is supplying materials to the coal face and such like.
I was an engineer, a mechanical engineer, maintenance engineer. I got an apprentice job at the Jenny Gray.
How old were you?
14. And the first day I was there, I was told by my gaffer to get a hat and a lamp, as I would be down the pit the next day. And you had to buy your lamps and everything then, you didn't get them free.
Different areas in the pit were different conditions. Some conditions were extremely hot, extremely warm. Other ones on the other hand were extremely wet. Overall, it was sort of average. I mean, I wouldn't say one was any better than the other.
It was warm in places, prone to fires, and there were a couple of times when it was on fire while I was there. But generally, the conditions at the pivot were pretty good.
You were working on your hands and knees and all the rest of it, working on low seams, very low seams. To give you an example, there were one seam of coal in the Jenny Gray where they had to take a 15-inch coal cutter, that's 15 inches high, and put a 12-inch high in because it was roofing. What we termed roofing, that was touching the roof.
When I got to the pit, it was mostly mechanisation. It was all mechanisation. There wasn't any hand stripping or anything like that. It was all machines that you used. It was very dusty, very dirty and very dark. Always use the 3Ds. But as time went on, I enjoyed it.
At that time, the peewee was it was still hand stripping. So we didn't have a lot of mechanisation. We had one or two road machines, but that was the only mechanisation we had. The rest was just done as it had been for quite a number of years.
The more mechanical new types of machines that come into the colliery, which was a big incentive to the boys, you know. When I ended up working in a private mine, that was mine in the 30s and 20s. There was no mechanical leads whatsoever. Everything was man-handled and totally different for an NCB colliery.
I worked 3 shifts. I didn't like the back shift, but my wife could never understand how I could sleep on the night shift, but I found it quite easy. I used to come in, go to my bed, maybe get up maybe about 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock, have a cup of tea, see the kids if they were home from school, and then just go back to my bed again. And I worked 3 shifts like that.
I was fortunate when I was at the peewee that the apprentices in the engineering shop, we must have had a good gaffer because he let us work constant day shift. It was good in the respect that you were always, you know, you could go out, it didn't affect your badminton or it didn't affect you going out at night. The only problem was getting up in the morning at 5:30 every morning. You know, and there were some times where you were standing and the head was going in it with your lamp on, and I can remember one time where we must have been, maybe had 2 nights at the dancing or something, and we were there the next day and we'd been late, probably had to walk home for Cowdenbeath or something, and it was the lamp pulling my head down that kind of kept me awake for for a wee while.
Mostly day shift, but then we worked what was termed as a ham and egg shift, where you started at 10 o'clock in the morning and you were back up on the surface again by 4:30. Then we had a spare back shift where you started at 2 o'clock and you were back up the pit about 9:30, 9:45.
When I started in the Jenny Gray, there were no baths. You had to come home with your dirty clothes on, get washed. And when the houses in these days didn't have bathrooms or anything, you had to get washed in the sink and that kind of thing. But that was a long, long time ago. Things changed. And then as time went on, after I got married, I got lockers in Glencraig baths. And I used that. I had a motorbike at the time, and I went up and down in the motorbike, my dirty clothes on, to Glencraig, and then changed myself up to Lahore. And
when I started at peewee, there was pithead baths, quite good baths. You just, you know, you could go there with your good clothes on, get changed into your dirty clothes, and then down the pit. And when you come back, you got a bath, shower, and away home you were ready to go out. You go to the dancing if you liked.
A miner's main concern was your own safety for the people that you were working with. Where at the end of the day, the health and safety was more like common sense. I never had fatalities. I mean, there were obviously what you would term sort of every injuries. Somebody fell or tripped, or somebody had to come across a bit. They were really serious, but no fatalities.
Well, there was always accidents in the pit. I was fortunate that there was never any real serious accidents at the pits. Not there was men killed, which is serious, but it was individuals. and there was a couple of guys killed at both sides when I was there. One man got caught, his jacket got caught in the roller, and that was on the surface. And the roller was a roller for a belt. There was a guy killed at both sides when a bogey material ran down, and the safety block wasn't. I can't even remember whether it wasn't in place or whether it didn't hold, but the guy got killed there. But apart from that, it was, you know, you had guys with broken legs and maybe crushed a wee bit, but I think there were only the 2 fatalities in all the time I was at a particular pit.
So an awful lot of disputes, minor things that got resolved in one way or another, but there were always disputes.
You had to arrive on the day shift bus in the morning, and you'd meet your night shift friends that had been down the pit overnight, and you met them in the morning. And this hadn't been done or that hadn't been done. So instead of going and they just stayed on the day shift bus and come back home. I mean, you were lucky if you got 3 days a week work, and that was the reason I put in for a transfer. If I come like all right to Boholko, I'd never ever had any stuff like Boholko, you know, strikes or anything. Yeah.
In the lead up to the strike, we'd lost a couple of shifts. Just because I think we knew in ourselves that there was going to be a strike. During that time, I think a lot of us come closer together. We were close anyway, as you had to be doing the pit to look after each other. Anyway, the strike came along, and we formed a strike committee in Kelty. I reckon we were about 30 odd strong, and we started going picketing and things like that. I was at Ravenscraig. I went to Hunterston. That was the first time I'd seen police horses, and I reckon that was a test ground for Orgreave. However, in hindsight, we didn't ken at that time, but I became more involved in the strike. Never missed a picket, was out every day. And then I got left it with the police at the steps, the old Steps Road. We were going to Hunterston and the police stopped us. So we thought, well, if they're going to stop us, we'll do something. So 300 of us got our buses and we sat across the road and we interlinked our arms so as they couldn't have lift us. However, they did get us all lifted and we were in the Stewart Street police station. They kept us here all day and they let us go and never charged us. I was elected for the mass meeting and become the delegate for the tradesmen at Castle Hall at that time. And when I went back, it just let me see what the coal board management were at that time. They were totally into the men because well, in their opinion, we'd been beating the strike. They said the men wouldn't get any concessions. If you were wet, you would stay down the pit. You would everything they could do to try and twist the knife. In my mind, that's what they did. And I become the delegate, got into it, joined the Labour Party, spoke at all the conferences that was going, and just generally tried to make things better for the men. And as time went on, I told a few people, I got challenged a couple of times to came saying, oh, you're not doing the job, you're not doing this. But believe it or not, I was in there 17 years until the pit shut.
There was a lot of good banter in the pit. You had to, you know, because sometimes the conditions, if it was cold and wet, the jokes kept you going. So I always liked working in the pit, and as I say, some of the times when you were sitting having a blather at peacetime and you were getting told the stories and what had happened in the past, and it was good.
The camaraderie was, I always used to say the pit was a dirty, lousy job, but the camaraderie was spot on, it was first class. And just like Jim had said, the jokes and the laughs and everything made up for all the times that you got wet and things like that.
But great place to work, great chaps to work with, some great memories of the pits.